Hey everyone, Nolan Ryan here. As we open Texas for business, we all need to work together in the fight against COVID-19. As Texans, we need to be responsible. We need to be smart. So when you leave the house, don't be a knucklehead. Wash your hands, socially distance yourself from others, and wear a mask. Do the right things. Look out for your fellow Texans, and together we'll make it through this.
Welcome back to More Life. I'm Jody Dean. Over the last 9 weeks, many of you have asked what that is on the wall behind me. Well, the answer rests with the artist.
Yeah, I'm in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. It's right in the heart of Mexico, about 3.5 hours north of Mexico City. And it's a World Heritage Site. It's an artist community enclave with about 120,000 people, and 25,000 of those are Americans.
We've had a ton of people ask about the artwork here in the Tiny House studio behind me, and I've explained that that is a portrait of John Lennon that you did as part of your Sacred Heart series, and I wanted to get you to explain what that was all about.
You know, I think a lot of our emotional mile markers are set to music. And in this series, I put a heart, a sacred heart there, because what I'm really trying to communicate with people, these are people who shifted the planet with their gifts, talents, passion, heart, energy. And then I kind of turn it on people and I ask, what are you doing with your gifts, your talents, your passion to help shift the planet? What does the world really need now? It needs more of a search for the deeper truth. And so it's like a meditation for me. It's never hard for me to get inspired to paint. That's part of the deal. It's sharing that energy with other people. It's sharing what you love. It's communicating that.
If the barrage of daily news is all just too much, attorney, author, and public speaker Brian Cuban has long spoken out about mental well-being, a subject too little discussed.
This morning I saw a story online that said, according to Twitter research, the most stressed out state is Texas.
Yeah, keywords.
What are your thoughts on that?
Starting out, there was really this feeling of nothing seemed to be in my control. The problem with that, Jody, is you can get really obsessive compulsive. All of a sudden, I'm refreshing the John Hopkins website 10 times a day. My business took a devastating hit. It took me a while to really get my mind under control. A lot of my feel-good comes from helping other people, and that happens quite when I speak. So when I'm not speaking, not connecting with people on an emotional, empathetic, compassionate level, that leaves a void. And so I've had to look and find other ways to fulfill that purpose. It can be very easy to project out every terrible thing into the future instead of pulling it back and saying, wait a minute, my feet are on the ground. I'm sitting here. I'm alive. What is my purpose today?
It all feels a little out of control.
It's true. So what do I have control over? Step back, control what I can. When I start reacting to every one of those things is when I start becoming a person I am not. You're at the center. Who are all the people that surround you that you care about and that you know that you can call? Now, if everyone created that circle and closed that circle, we would have this huge compassionate community where everyone was reaching out to each other, theoretically, right? A compassionate community is actually at its best when it is uncomfortable, because we are uncomfortable because we know someone is suffering. We know someone else is uncomfortable. The human reaction is to step away, but we need to close distance. We need to fight through the uncomfortability and close distance. I posted a picture of Mark and I, baby picture. It was taken 62 or 63, somewhere in that area. And someone on Twitter tweeted to me, simpler times. And I tweeted back to him, I said, wait a minute. The Kennedy assassination, the Cuban Missile Crisis, in 3 years we had troops in Vietnam. Things happen on a continuum. This is one moment in history. Let's not compare it. Let's deal with where we are.
Very proud of Southlake today. Very proud to live here.
They gathered in Town Square, calling for justice and change.
The only thing I want is the same thing all Americans want, is the American dream.
People like Rosalind Krim, who says this isn't a moment, it's a movement. She came with her son, Reed.
Almost a year ago to this date, I had to call her outside at 3 in the morning while I was on my way to work so she could talk to the police to convince them that I lived in the house that I've lived in for the past 15 years.
Southlake students organized the event.
Young people in this community and the young people of the world are going to be the ones that make a difference.
It's unbelievable that that these people care so much and yet want to do it in a peaceful way.
What gives me even greater hope are the young people of today who are taking this action.
Still to come, the Mavericks host a courageous conversation and a young man inspires when More Life continues.